Welcome everyone, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Pokemon Wildlands on Tabletop Simulator. Alright, it has been a while since I last recorded. I was kind of letting the backlog catch up. Anyone that's familiar with my channel knows I tend to record in bulk if I happen to like a game a lot, because I want to keep playing it, and just since I'm playing it, I may as well keep recording it, and situations like that. I essentially record the first 4 games kind of back to back for the most part. And as with my upload schedule, that's obviously going to take a while to go through. But once my Game 1 came out, in fact, as I'm recording this, only Game 1 has all of Game 1 has only been put up on the channel so far. Kilgrave, the creator of the module, actually contacted me, both in YouTube comments and Discord. He kind of mentioned that he really liked the videos and how informative they are. Which I'm very glad. I'm very glad that he thinks it's actually useful. As always, I like to show off games and try to show them off as accurately as possible. I also had my other initial thought was, hopefully I didn't say anything too mean on my later games. But he did offer to play a game duo. And I actually had no experience playing multiplayer for the most part. I kind of played a little bit, a few turns with a friend, but we didn't actually get very far and didn't really finish it. And it was with a much older version of the module. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and try this out. Obviously, playing with the person that created the module, it can be a very good experience as far as just kind of seeing what the intentions were behind certain decisions and rules and stuff like that. Obviously, playing multiplayer, it tends to be a little looser as far as like keeping up the rules and stuff. We definitely made some rules mistakes, but it was more of a situation like, okay, well, we can either fix it or we can't, and if we can't, we'll just keep going. Obviously, when I make rules mistakes when recording these videos, I tend to be like, all right, I may need to rewind and try to show this as accurately as possible, because obviously I want to show things correctly. I want you guys who are interested in this module see kind of how it's supposed to run and kind of go from there. He did show me a number of things, and also probably some things I probably made mistakes on through the previous videos. I was tempted to make a separate video about this meeting with Kilgrave, but honestly, I don't think it will make that much of a difference. I'm just going to add it to the beginning of this playthrough of another round of this game. One of the mistakes I think I made, honestly, since it's been multiple weeks since my last recording of this, I don't exactly know all the mistakes I could have made. But I think I was doing Lucky Stew per round, and I was taking that as combat rounds when it was actually overall rounds, like your actual rounds on this thing. So in combat, you can only do this once, period. Doesn't matter how many turns it goes. So that was one of the mistakes I made, I'm pretty sure, a few times. The other mistake kind of involved the AI. This one's a bit kind of unclear. But he kind of was like explaining it. And I don't know if the rulebook maybe explains that the best way. But the way I was playing it, I was kind of basing the AI off of the current round and what is happening. Like, what, for this round and this round only, what does the maximum amount of damage, or both status effects and things like that. But the way he kind of approached it was kind of a more overall type thing. Like, if I put poison, if I use a weaker move now that does poison, and every round it does 2 damage, that may do a bit more damage in the future type situation, in which case it'll probably favor doing the status effect first. Or, a situation where it inflicts 4 fatigue, in which case your opponent's going to be taking, 5 extra damage because of exhaustion. So that's going to be a bit harder to kind of wrap my head around. I mean, I already struggle enough just doing turn-by-turn stuff, but I will do my best to kind of keep that in mind. It mainly only matters for, honestly, probably confusion, burn, or not burn, confusion, freeze, poison, I think are probably the big ones, because I think those are the ones that do extra damage. I guess also rooted does extra damage. I'm not sure lifted would be taken into account. Obviously, in situations where the damage is tied, of course, status effects are king. But yeah, that was kind of probably the big things that stood out to me. I definitely have some thoughts about as far as the multiplayer is concerned. It was very interesting to kind of see how the cooperative aspect works, because obviously single-player raids don't mean anything because you're playing by yourself. Our playthrough, he went with a trainer card that focuses on partnering up with somebody, and it actually added a unique failure flag, where if your person that you're partner with loses 2 battles, it's game over. We managed to get through with only me losing 1 battle, thankfully, but it was definitely something we were very kind of had to be careful about. That being said, we were pretty loose as far as just how aggressive we were as far as hitting various key points. That being said, we did only have maybe 1 or 2 rounds left by the time we got our 8 badges. But we definitely got to tackle a lot of things I usually don't tackle a lot, like festivals, like back-to-back festivals. He actually did the Who's That Pokemon quiz, which I am terrible at. But it was kind of interesting to kind of just see those aspects of how raids work, because the way raids work is everyone participates. They all have to contribute an equal amount of Pokemon. So if it's a 4v4, both of us would have to contribute at least 2 Pokemon to the thing. And it definitely was very interesting. Having another player that has, an additional potential 6 Pokemon of varying types and abilities just really changes the game plan. And then, of course, if you expand that further, you'll have even more options. And because of that, there's definitely certain aspects of the game where I feel like in solo play, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage, which I'll probably talk about as we go along. But yeah, it was a really neat thing to experience. He also showed off an Origin, which its ability is designed practically to help somebody else out. Essentially, it's I don't remember the exact text for it, but essentially the way it works was the prestige that that player generates can be given to somebody else. Which for Kilgrave doesn't really need the prestige. He's the creator of the game, and he probably already has everything unlocked because he made it. So he actually got me a bunch of extra prestige, which I definitely used to buy a bunch of Origins. I only have 7 more I need to unlock. Obviously, since I played with Kilgrave, my family Pokemon has changed and all that good stuff, the usual bits. But yeah, it was really neat to kind of see that type of stuff, kind of ask him some questions, and I'm glad he found use of it. He even posted it on his the Discord channel. So anyone that's come to this point and still watching these, I thank you guys. My intention is to gradually play through the story mode, which there's a bunch of chapters. And more than likely, I'll eventually hit the wall, which is probably going to be certain difficulty requirements, which we're going to hit pretty soon at this point. I believe that when me and Kilgrave played, I think the original intention was to try to get me my first trophy, because I haven't gotten a trophy yet. But we ended up kind of just focusing more on just defeating as many bosses as possible to get a little extra prestige. But yeah, it was really neat. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and read up on some story. But let me put a break here. Before I dive into the story stuff, you may have noticed some changes. They kind of changed the arenas. They also added Pokemon cries. So when a Pokemon is added to a battlefield, it is going to make a cry. Unlike the music, which I can just set here, I couldn't really adjust the volume of those cries. I ended up going into the settings, and from my experience, you had these only change when you re-enter a module. It doesn't change while you're in the module or something. At least that's what I noticed. Unless I, was doing something incorrectly, which wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, hopefully the volume is okay. I may check it again. I checked it before we started. I just threw Why Not out just to see how loud it is. So if it ends up being too loud, I apologize. Also, because the cries are under kind of the main volume, all the other volumes for like things like cards and stuff, you're probably not going to hear as loudly, which probably isn't that big of a deal. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into this. So our last requirement was to just finish a session on normal difficulty. We have been doing that, but obviously our last game was also focused on getting prepared for the future. So I did fight a few 1-star bosses, which one of them we actually managed to beat. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Chapter 5, A Bold Idea. Let's see here. Reporting for check-in, we have Team Lane, Paulo, our resident forger, and Miss Nala, who seems quite too posh for the likes of these two. Quite an interesting team composition. Let's hope that's been working out for you three. Progress. Let's talk about progress and what you've learned about Serengala. Well, Professor, we haven't found any solid evidence yet of an ancient civilization here, but we are starting to think we are going about things all wrong. We need a new perspective, and we think we've found a way to get one of the best perspectives possible. We're going to space, Professor Warwick. Well, I mean, we are going to consult satellites from space to find out when exactly Serengala first started appearing in photos of the world, and more importantly, hopefully get some real-time photos of what Serengala looks like today. I have a colleague in Hoenn who can get us the access we need. What a splendid idea, a bold idea, but splendid all this just the same. Who would have known young Paulo was able to forge important friendships as well as he could forge an ancient pot? I assume you three want the expedition's blessing to pursue these photos while still maintaining your funding. Consider it done. We can't secure you additional travel funds, but your place in the expedition is safe when you return. Money won't be a problem, Professor. Posh. Guilty as charged. Thanks again, Professor. We'll get out of your hair now. Well, everyone. I guess we can... excuse me. Could I have a quick word with you three? Lane, Paulo, and Nala, right? I don't know if we have formally met, but I'm Diantha, and I'm desperately looking for my travel companion, Cynthia, who I haven't seen or heard from since the mission briefing. I was hoping one of you had run into her out there in the Wildlands. Wait, Cynthia's missing too? No, we haven't seen her at all. By any chance, Diantha, have you run into the hotheads at all since our first night at base camp? I haven't seen them since. No, I'm afraid I haven't seen them either. I don't think you, I think you all should come with me for dinner at the camp we set up for the night. There is something you need to know. Posh babes, posh food, count me in. Excuse our little deviant, Diantha. He's not as horrible as he makes himself out to be. Lane, do we have to take this detour, or should we press on to the airfield? 3 trainers missing that I know of, and one obvious common link. Yes, let's join Diantha for dinner and see what she has to say. If trainers are endangered here in the Wildlands, it would be nice to figure out why. So, at this point, we have to win a 1-star boss fight, which we did last time, but we'll need to do it again this time. Alright, so with all that in mind, okay, I have everything unlocked. I have a Pidgey for my family Pokemon, because this Pidgey, you might want to keep an eye on it. It has beak on its blood. It has tasted it. It will kill again. It was ridiculously powerful. Actually, one of the things we can go ahead and show this off right now. So one of the things Kilgrave showed me, you may have noticed a lot of times I would if it was like an egg Pokemon or whatever, I'll up its stats like this and then just keep it like this. What he showed me is you can actually go here and set tracker defaults, which if you do that, it makes it so it becomes its new norm, which is kind of neat. So you can do that and it becomes its new normal. Personally, I'm probably not going to do this because throughout my play with Kilgrave, I kept second-guessing myself on whether or not I did the bonuses correctly, because we got a lot of bonuses, like a ridiculous amount. We did a lot of festivals. We also did a bunch of other things. Like I was also playing the K9 unit, so I got a few extra HP from that. I had the egg origin, which got me extra bonuses, and I also had some eggs that also had bonuses. It was just, I had a lot of stacked bonuses, and his trainer card was giving me even more bonuses. And yeah, every time I ended up in situations where I had to keep recounting and making sure my numbers were correct. Also, if you want to see what the default numbers were, you can just mouse it over to this thing, and it will show the default numbers. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and set this back to its original. Like so. There you go. So that's correct. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and show that off before I forget about it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just keep it as its default, and I'll just count it up because that just helps my sanity. He also showed me a bunch of decals that I didn't know existed, which is kind of nice. Also, some of the decals are taken into account for some of the stat increases whenever you evolve or change a Pokemon. So that's something to be aware of. I think I've ran into that a few times where I will click the increase button and suddenly it'll update everything automatically. One of those weird situations. Anyway, with all that said and done, let me go ahead and put one more break here and I'll BRB. Okie dokie, let's go ahead and dive right into this. We're going to go ahead and stick with the usual thing. Obviously, I told Kilgrave about my thing where I just, draw out 3 and pick one. I mainly do it just to ensure I do something different every time. Also, it's also kind of a way to prevent some analysis paralysis, because eventually we're going to start getting a bunch of trainer cards. I don't plan on doing masteries anytime soon until things get difficult enough where I kind of need to do it. Though, to be honest, the way the game's balanced, you don't exactly need the masteries to do most of the things in this game anyway. So, let's go ahead and shuffle this a few times, and we'll draw 3. 1, a 2, a 3. So I believe we've done Technician and Nurse. I believe Nurse was our first game, and Technician I definitely recall doing it at some point. One thing that was also interesting in my playthrough with Kilgrave, since we didn't actually do a single regular gym battle. We definitely fought gym leaders and stuff like that through festivals, but we didn't actually do any actual official gyms, which was very different because I didn't get a single TM the entire game. And that being said, I still killed everything with Pidgey. Well, Pidgeot, rather. Anyway, so we got Worker. I don't know if we've talked about this one because it's been a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it again. So its silver ability is once per round outside of battle, you may place a road between your current space and an adjacent space at the same elevation. Keyword here, at the same elevation. If I want to make any mistake about this guy, it's going to be this thing. All players may move between spaces with roads without expending movement. So this is actually a really good support card because you essentially can have a character that's just going out and exploring and then just laying out the road work for people to follow along without actually having to spend any extra movement. Solo, it's still very useful because it kind of gives you it gives you the ability to backtrack without any issue. And even in the worst case scenario, it effectively becomes a +1 movement, maybe even more depending on how your movement goes. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with this. And then the other ability is Terrain Expert, where your ground, rock, and steel moves all inflict an additional fatigue, and you deal +2 damage to any fully fatigued enemies. The +2 damage to fully fatigued enemies is actually somewhat useful in situations where fatigue doesn't do anything usually, such as elite enemies or elite battles where they don't suffer any exhaustion damage. So I'm going to go ahead and try out the Worker and see how it goes. So that's going to be our plan for that. We'll go ahead and put you back. Oop, I forgot to reset you. There we go. Yeah, I was playing Pokemon Unit 9 last time. Funny enough, I got the Mega Stone for being, getting the Tier 5, and I ended up not using it simply because I didn't want to lose the move I was using, or signature move I was using. As for Origins, so the last one I did was Humble Beginnings with Kilgrave. It was actually really interesting. I think it was what got me Pidgey, to be honest. Yeah, it's just kind of gets you an extra Pokemon. It doesn't have +2/+2, but it gives you +1/+1. Also, you get to do it from 3 random draws rather than 1, which is definitely helpful. But I think I'm going to pick up one of the ones I just recently picked up. I recently picked up Islander, Ninja, and Foreign Champion. I like the idea of Foreign Champion. I like a lot of my openers tend to be sometimes just to pick up a utility card. This lets you start with 3 random utility cards. This could be literally 3 eggs if we're lucky enough. So I think that's going to be the plan. Let's go ahead and click Start Game. Starting with an Ice Gem. So that's not going to be great for my Pidgey. Oh, also something I did on my personal playthroughs. I played 2 games since our last game. One of them was mainly just because Kilgrave invited me to play a game, so I went and played a game on my own just to refresh myself on the rules. But during that game, I definitely tried out I did a lot of fossil Pokemon stuff. I think I picked the Origin that lets me start with some mining cards, and I end up getting fossils every time. And fossils are interesting, but they can be pretty hit and miss. Fossils can be anywhere from weak Pokemon to strong. Obviously, if you get strong, you can't really use them immediately, but they do get the +2/+2 bonus similar to eggs, so it is at least something. Anyway, I believe everything's been shuffled, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw 3 cards here. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got a potion, which is not terrible. We have Surprise Attack. You may perform a charge meter attack for 2 less than usual. And then we have this one during battle before you attack. If one of your active Pokemon have less than half health remaining, you may play this card to increase its attack strength by 1 until that Pokemon switches out. Not the best cards, but they're at least something. So we have that going for us. As for what we're going to do here, Let's see. I should really take advantage of the layers anymore. I've been kind of reluctant to do that simply because originally there were traps in them. I don't think there are traps in them anymore. A lot of red apricorns. I think I want to go this direction. I believe this direction gives us a better chance of getting some fire types, or at least types that have burn, and I like burn. And we also need something for ice gem, so we'll go ahead and head this way. I don't exactly want to spend a coin yet at the general store, so as mentioned earlier, there are some things you can do shopping-wise. You can spend 5 coins to upgrade your trainer card. I like this change. I like being able to actually have more uses for money. Money tends to either be I have none of it or I have way too much of it, and this kind of searches a lot of those issues. And then the other one, it looks like you can spend 5 coins to get a companion that was trashed in a previous season, which is kind of neat. All right, so we're going to go here, and then we'll go ahead and hit the ready button, which will automatically get us our search stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And then we'll do our actual official search. Also, I was informed if you right mouse or right click, that will get you a Pokeball without having to spend the stuff. Speaking of spending stuff, let's go ahead and spend our legacy point and get ourselves a Pidgey. So yeah, right clicked and it didn't actually decrement my apricorn. Okay, so we got ourselves our Pidgey. And we'll go ahead and do our search now. All right. Shadow Helioptile. Fortunately, or we can grab a Crab Crawler, which has Rock Smash. Where's my sheet? So, Ice. Okay, Ice is normal against fighting, but fighting is strong against Ice. This could give us something. I mean, 7 initiative on this thing is actually kind of nice. We could grab Shadow, in which case we'll gradually get reduced alignment, which isn't the end of the world. Not sure about... And we got Thunder Dance, but that's not really anything too great at the moment. And this gets us, what, Motham and this thing? Okay. I think I've seen this guy before. What was it? Yeah, Heliodisc. Thunderbolt's not bad, though. But we would have to wait a while to get anything out of it. Same thing for Crabrawler. Or Crabrawler, however you should pronounce it. And then you get the ice version. Just seeing that there's literally anything. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get the Crabrawler. As much as I would like to defeat the Shadow for either an alignment one direction or the other. All right, let's go ahead and return those. We'll go ahead and hit end round. And, I guess one thing we could also do is explore, and I think we should go ahead and do that. Kilgrave was definitely very... one thing I was a little surprised about, since playing multiplayer, when you do the 8 journey points, it's per player, so the more players you have, the more you're technically spending. But playing with Kilgrave, he was more than willing to spend JP a lot in the beginning. He was completely okay with that. Because obviously exploring gives you more information, which is always useful. I think in the beginning he was definitely eager for exploring, mainly to find some moderate and strong wild encounters, because obviously you want to get those to get the upgrades. Unfortunately, that's not in this direction. We do have an Ace Trainer, though. That we can do something with. All right, let's go ahead and hit end of round. We do need to evolve a Pidgey at some point, so we can, because Pidgeotto is a lot more useful. I don't think we should hit this just yet. We've also got an arena here. I'm not too worried about that. 3. You know what? Yellow. Okay, didn't get punished. 1. 2. 3. I'll go ahead and go here. Alright. Reduce damage, higher initiative. I'm going to kill the Popio and take the Encore. Not really feeling the rest of these, though. Okay, go ahead and end round here. Alright, let's go 1, 2, trigger this. This is gain 2 Safari Balls. We can use those to what does it say? Yeah, we can use Safari Balls here to get some extra strength on their signature move, I believe it does. No, moves that match its type. Cool. So we went 1, 2. Let's go. Let's go 3 to here, and then we'll explore. All right, let's go ahead and search. A Wattrel, Totodile, and a Ducklet. I think I'm okay with the Totodile. I will probably never Mega Evolve it because I don't want to look at it. I hate that. I hate the toilet seat. But yeah, I think a Totodile is the way to go. We can give it a Safari Ball to make it even stronger. It's going to have low initiative, but that's not the end of the world. It does have taking reduced damage, which is at least something. All right, let's go ahead and return these. At this point, I am going to go ahead and evolve Pidgey. All right. Also, one thing I definitely always forget about, I've mentioned it in my videos in any of the games. You can hit the, if you ever need to, you can always hit the U key, and that'll put things behind other things. So instead of having to do this weird shuffling thing that I usually do, you can just hit the U key. I'll probably forget that at some point, but at least I know it now. All right, so that's everything here. We have 3 Pokemon, and we got Pidgeotto with Twister, which is always nice. So I think we're in good shape. Let's go ahead and end the round. All right, let's go ahead and go here. Oh, good, an ability. Don't exactly want to use it just yet, but yeah, we went 1, 2. Cool. And we'll go 3 to here. We'll go ahead and do a search here. Okay. Ugh. Voltorb is probably what we're going to get here. I don't like having reduced attack. We're going to go ahead and use Safari Ball for this. Or return those. I really want to explore more, but actually we might be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and hit end around. I think my plan will be take out the Ace Trainer, and then I can also use the Infused Stew to get some JP and use that to explore again. I definitely learned to keep an Explorer's Compass on hand as much as possible. I think I will go ahead and pop the ability patch and see where that puts us. It's what, 3 of these? Nope, 5 of them. Quick feat. Gain 2 initiative for each status effect the Pokemon has. Mummy, if this is... Okay, I don't have Ghost, so I'm not going to even worry about that. Can't use that one, can't use that one, can't use that one. We have Insomnia. This Pokemon gains +3 initiative but receives the sleep status regardless of type immunity at the end of any turn where you reach 5 fatigue. Does that still reduce fatigue, by the way? No, it doesn't reduce fatigue anymore. Honestly, Insomnia is not that bad. Getting 3 initiative. I may drop Encore for that. Quick Feet I don't exactly want. The rest, I mean, I'm just going to see what these other ones were, just to see what ones I missed here. But I don't think it's anything that big. Oh, we have Steel. We can actually do Soul Heart. After knocking out an opposing Pokemon, all this Pokemon's moves get +1 attack strength for the remainder of the battle. So if we beat some things up with Voltorb, we actually get some extra attack power. And he has a 3 strength Electro Ball. And he has 7 initiative. It's just he doesn't have much to follow it up with. I think I'll go for the Insomnia. I'm going to drop Encore. For all that. And that'll give +3 initiative. So he has 9 initiative now. Okay, bye-bye Popplio. And this is what we have now. Okay. So we pop that. I'm going to go ahead and move. Because we still need to do all that. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. I think. 1 second. Okay, I definitely, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be 4 here. Sorry about that. All right, we'll go here, grab whatever this is. Black Apricorn, cool. I am going to go ahead and spend a white and a pink to do Infuse Stew to get 4 JP, getting us up to 7. And we're going to go ahead and say hi to this Ace Trainer, and hopefully do okay with this. All right, we'll go ahead and hit this button. It'll automatically ready us up, move you over, and Forced Rocket, Standard Freestyle. Okay, so what I learned is you can actually click this button and it'll automatically form the team, and it will give the extra HP automatically. All right, so yeah, it's this little green button that's behind all the other buttons. I definitely have some UI concerns about this, but I think he mentioned it was still in the experimental phase as when he showed it to me. All right, starting with the electric type. All right, give me a moment. Okay, the volume didn't seem too bad, so I'll keep going as is. All right, so electric type. Not exactly a type that I'm going to be great against. We do have Crabrawler, though, and that's probably what we're going to have to use. I mean, it's either that or we go Electro Ball against Dynamo, which has potential, because we have 4 strength versus its 2 strength, but it does have the extra crit, and I don't have anything that gives me extra here. So this would be pretty ugly. I think we'll do Crabrawler and see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and do, if you click these buttons here, it'll actually move it for us. Alright, Crabrawler. We go first. We have 7 initiative versus 6. We will use Rock Smash. Two damage. And he has +1, -1, so it doesn't matter there. Also, our next attack will have 1 extra regular hit, which he showed me. You can just drag out these dice here, which will help us out. Cool. Meanwhile, we're going to get hit with Charge Beam. Alright, 3 damage. I'm kind of in trouble here. And I'm going to be taking an extra crit next round. Alright, we'll go ahead and see if we can finish this guy off. Alright, I do an extra regular hit, so this does take him out. So, 1 down. Alright, None of these guys outspeed. Most damage would be Downpour and Volt Switch. And this guy's resistant and taking reduced damage. But I think damage-wise, I think it'll be based off damage here. So yeah, I think it's between Rotrell and Sobol. They do the most damage. So I'll go ahead and just shuffle this until I think it's only 2 of them. So if it's 2 of them, I'm just going to go by left and right. So we'll go right, which will be Sobol. Because he does 1 extra damage. Alright. So he comes out. He has 5 initiative versus our 7. Alright, so I'm going to do Rock Smash. I could do Crisis Power, but I don't really care to. We could do Surprise Attack maybe if we get some status effect or status dice, but I don't think we need it. This is a 2v2, right? Yeah, it's 2v2, and bringing in Pidgeotto will finish things off next round. Or actually, I can just bring in freaking Voltorb, and I'll destroy everything. Okay, and then you'll have this on you, take 2. Alright, no matter what this thing rolls, it's just going to finish this off. So I'm not going to bother blocking it. I'm glad I didn't bother. Alright, this goes away. Technically I could just send you back, right? Yes, I can. Alright, and then we'll bring out Voltorb. So this Safari Ball, I get +1 attack strength when it matches type. I do. Electro Ball, it's going to be Printed Strength is equal to half the turn initiative value of the user, rounded down. So we're at 7. Oh yeah, I should have really considered putting Insomnia on this guy. That would have been smarter. Oh well. That would have given him literally 5 strength Electro Balls. But that's okay. There'll be other opportunities. Also, when he evolves, it's going to kind of fix itself anyway. Alright, we do get +1 attack strength because of the Safari Ball. Okay, so there we go. We go first. We'll also have 1 extra hit here, so we're guaranteed to kill on this next attack. I'm still going to roll it anyway, just for posterity. That's a lot of overkill. Okay. So that takes care of all those. And then you go home. Alright. So, does this get rid of them? I'm trying to remember. Okay, it just removes that guy. Got it. Oh, I could just do return here, right? No, return doesn't do it. There used to be a way to do this, but I don't remember how. Alright, so I'm just gonna group them together. And then just do this. Alright. Those have been returned. We get this guy, we get 1 Pokecoin and 2 JP. We don't have any bonuses because it's winter. So 2 JP, Pokecoin, and we can take this guy as our buddy and get +1 HP to everybody, which will be really helpful. Okay, with all that done, I'm going to go ahead and spend 8. And we're going to do some exploring. We're going to go this way. Okay, there's an intermediate there. We do need to do a moderate there, and there's a moderate there. Okay, we got something to work with there. Okay, let's go ahead and hit end round. Didn't click for some reason. There we go. Also, when playing multiplayer, I didn't really suffer any additional lag compared to what I was dealing with. So, all right, let's go with Oh, okay. So the button I clicked on was something about AI Battler. Okay, good to know. All right, let's, we're gonna go, well, they only have one white. 1, 2, we'll go 3 to here. This is mystery dungeon. Yeah, we'll just, I'm just seeing what directions we can go. Yeah, we'll just go to, we can go to here and then loop there, and then loop to there. Oh, there's a trainer here too. Any Pokemon you didn't use a catch action on gets +1/+1. Okay, I know about that one. That essentially is eggs and the family Pokemon. All right, so yeah, we'll go to here. Quick ready. Get her some whites that we definitely need, and we'll do a search. Okay, we got the Hisuian Voltorb, which essentially has grass Electro Ball. And then we have a shiny Whismur, which I'm not feeling. Uproar is a good ability. I'm just seeing what other options we have. I think we may just get the yeah, I don't like having a minus attack. That's just not something I'm for there. Increases attack strength by 1. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Uproar, and we're gonna give this to Totodile. I guess we can also technically give it to Voltorb, but it doesn't have it's not a matching type. I mean, it's not gonna be a matching type regardless. You know what? Yeah, let's give it to you. You can have Uproar. Okay, return. End the round. And we do have a Zesty Stew available to us now, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. So yeah, we'll go 1, 2, 3. Grab one of these, and then we'll spend the 2 whites and a yellow, the Zesty Stew, to there, and to there. Okay, and we do have enough for an alluring stew to make that happen. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do a search here and hope we do okay. All right, let's go ahead and click ready. So for this one, we're going to be doing an actual battle. I'm thinking the Love Disc. I think we can handle the Love Disc. Yeah, we should be able to handle the Love Disc, actually. We can go Voltorb. It does outspeed us. It'll hit us once, but then we can just blast it with Electro Ball and hopefully win that way. I mean, it's either that or I open with Pidgeotto and go Twister and paralyze it, which has potential. Let's do, we'll do Voltorb. That at least guarantees damage. Alright, it outspeeds us. It's going to be doing a normal attack, and it's going to be reducing crits by 1. Oh my god, 3 damage. So I'm at 3 health. Alright. I will go ahead and increase our power by 1 using a Crisis Power. So we'll be rolling 5 dice. And here goes nothing. So I do 5 damage. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Should have 3 health left, right? 3 health left, and then I'm going to go ahead and play this surprise attack. I can perform a charge meter attack for 2 less charge than required. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see, you may play this card to increase that Pokemon's attack strength by 1 until it switches out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do surprise attack here. And use my charge. And I'll do Electro Ball again. I was thinking about Uproar, but if I roll crits, I'm going to get screwed. So I'm going to go ahead and just do Electro Ball again. It's going to be at 5 strength because the Crisis Power is still active. Oh wait, it's less than half health remaining. Never mind. Let me re-roll that. I'm going to have to re-roll the attack entirely. So I'm just going to redo the attack. So I can't play... I cannot play Crisis Power because I got screwed. So I need to roll 4 dice. Alright, 4 dice then. Alright, that still will let me do surprise attack. I remove 1 crit. So it's going to be 5 damage still, so it's down to 3. But yeah, I managed to get 1 charge, which is enough to do surprise attack. Because it's, what, 2 less? Yeah, it costs 4, it only takes 2 now. I'll go ahead and use it to do Electro Ball again. Same situation. Alright, that's 3 damage by itself, and that will finish off left disc. Okay, we won the battle. So now we can officially start laying down road work. And we're going to go ahead and make this happen. So yeah, my mistake, of course, was the Crisis Power. You have to be less than half, and I was exactly half. Okay, we do get Lucky Chant, which definitely has some potential. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this to Totodile, because he has that kind of damage reduction already built into him. Alright, so yeah, we can now start placing roads, which means we need to go get the roads. It's going to take a while to load. Roads? Nope. Engineer? Is that what you're called? No, you're called Worker. Oh, I remember now. It's a decal. Yeah, it's a decal. All right. And we're going to have to start messing with the rotation degrees, unfortunately. Okay. So what I can do with this is... I can start laying out some road work. It has to be same elevation, so something to be aware of. For right now, I'm just going to put it... I'm just trying to think where I want to put these. Let's just put one here. This round at least. Okay. All right. So now we can do that. All players can now use this to move without spinning movement. All right. That is it for that. I am going to go ahead and spend a coin and 1 compass. Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong thing. I'm going to go ahead and explore in this direction. Fighting Gym, that's actually really good. Once per season, when you're playing Pokemon Snap, you can just increase it. Okay, not a big deal. All right, let's go ahead and end round. 7 rounds, no badges so far. I'm actually okay with getting... Actually, I've been kind of okay with getting badges, period, at this point, but we're kind of getting a bunch of moves at the time. So let's go ahead and move down for 1. I'm just trying to think of where exactly I want to move. Let's go ahead and move down here. 1, 2. This will be for free because of the road. All right, I'm just gonna drop the Diglett Cave down to there. There we go. So at 1, 2, got the free movement, and then I can go 3 to here and fight this trainer. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and keep this going. All right, so we can go ahead and just click this button. It'll make everything for us. And then shuffle, and it's going to be... I should be able to just place this without issue. Sandy Gas, Ghost, ground type. Well, Pidgeotto. We're going to go ahead and open things up with a... We're not super effective, so we can just do Twister and inflict paralysis. Which of course will drop its initiative, which I don't really care too much about. 2 damage. Alright, it's going to do Upshore, which will heal for half damage dealt, rounded down. Flying is super resistant to ground. So literally it cannot do damage to us. Yep, exactly 0 because -4. Alright, we'll go ahead and blast again with Twister. Great damage. 0 damage back. I'm glad I have -4 because that's 3 crits out of 4 dice so far. Alright, just need 1 damage. That's good enough. Okay, Sandy Gas is out. And then Rock Smash is pretty much equal. Venomous Dance could potentially do more damage over time. Mud Slap's a no-go. Add 1 regular hit to the roll. I think Rock Smash is probably the one. Because it's going to assume it's going to roll all 1s. Yeah, it's technically doing the most damage with Rock Smash, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that one. Poison could potentially do more damage. That'll be what, 3? I guess every round it does 3, technically. Let's do Marini, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's not going to make too much of a difference. We're up 1 Mon, and Pidgeotto here is going to clean house regardless. We outspeed, we're going to inflict paralysis, and Smackaroonie. 2 damage. Oh, 3 damage. Goes to its turn. I'm going to get poisoned. Take 1 damage. Alright, I'll attack back with Twister. I do a damage and I become asleep. And I take 2 damage. It's going to go ahead and... Oh, actually, what was the attack earlier? Oh, I take 0 damage, sorry, from the attack because of paralysis. Okay, it's going to keep whacking me. Okay, this time it hits me for 2. Alright, I'm going to die from an attack regardless, so I'll just go ahead and try to finish things off here. Twister. Alright, I'm going to end up doing 0 damage because of sleep. Yep, So I'm going to die from fatigue. This thing has 5 speed. I'm just going to go out with Voltorb. And we'll do Electro, which will automatically kill. Okay, also I didn't have 5 initiative, I had 2. Also, this thing automatically orients, so I shouldn't need to rotate. Alright, so we got this. We'll get, what, 3 JP? We will get... yeah, 3 JP, and we can use this. This will give us a flat +1/+1 on Pidgeotto, which is kind of our ace anyway. So this will go up by 1, this will go up by 1, +1/+1. There we go, 10 initiative, 8 health, weak Pokemon. Alright, I should have 3 more JP. There we go. Oh, actually, I forgot to get the JP and stuff from the battle down here. I should be at 11. And I should have gotten the ones from those. So give me 1 moment. Okay, that seems to be correct. Do I want to spend JP? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, actually, before the end of the round, I'll go ahead and use my decal here. And we'll just place one, I don't know, right here. May as well place them if you got them. Alright, but yeah, with the JP we have, I may as well go ahead and spend, because right now we only need, what, 14 to do stuff. So yeah, we'll go ahead and spend 8 JP, and we're going to explore in this direction. Okay, so we can get ourselves another Ace Trainer. Problem is there is a forced encounter here with Rocket Hideout, which would get us 2 JP. Or not JP, but it'll get us Pokecoins. So that might be the play. We got +1 initiative on water types, and over here it is, if you share moves of the same type, you get +1 attack strength. Got it. And there's a general store. Money-wise, we're at 1. So... but we can work with this, I think. All right, let's go ahead and hit end around. Okay, I do have enough for a Zesty Stew, and I'm definitely going to have to start using those. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Gain 1 egg. I will happily take that. So that'll actually work with yellow here, which is good. That'll effectively make that egg a +3/+3. So hopefully it gets a good one. What else can we do here? Okay, this is the one where you can just do... yeah, I don't have the money to do it anyway. Okay, so I went 1, 2, we'll go 3 to here. And then we'll go a Zesty Stew to go 1, 2. just kind of see what my route is. So hold on a second. I was here, 1, 2, 3, and then I can go 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and grab this too. Okay, this got us a free Carbos. We don't have any dark Pokemon, so we would have to discard 6 to make stuff happen with that. I'm going to hold on to the Carbos for now. I don't... Ooh, actually. We can put it on the Voltorb. You know what? I will put it on the Voltorb. Why not? So doing this will give it +1 initiative, effectively making it a 5 power Electro Ball. Okay. Alright, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do, because I haven't done it this round, is I'm going to go ahead and place a decal. Place the road right there. And grab whatever this is. Okay, we got this, which unfortunately is not that useful because it's for psychic moves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end around here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get anything, but I will get an event because I didn't do anything else. So I was originally going to go towards the Ace Trainer here, but I don't think I need it. But I think I still want to grab at least some of this stuff here. So let's go ahead and hit ready. And we get, can be spent as a Pearl crafting components at Kurt's Workshop or used at Rook's Lab. Pearls at Rook's Lab can be used. You can spend a Pokecoin and a Pearl here to get 3 ability, to draw 3 ability cards and teach 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit end of the round. And I'll put a break here.